Reggie Showers is close to achieving his goal of finishing the season in the top 10 in points. He currently ranks 10th, just 26 out of 9th in his first full season of competition in the NHRA. An amazing accomplishment considering Showers lost both of his legs in a childhood electrocution accident.
I was 14 years old. It was Memorial Day 1978. My parents were having a cookout. Just the adventurous, bored kid that I was, I ventured off into a railroad yard where we used to have a little dirt bike track set up. And this one particular day, there were a set of boxcars that were much taller than usual. And I looked at those taller cars as a new challenge for me to conquer. I had to climb them. So when I did that, I got even closer to the overhead high-tension wire that was over top of these cars. Never really knew the danger that existed. I didn't even touch it. I just got too close to it. The electricity arced out on me, and I got hit. Knocked me right out. I didn't feel any pain whatsoever, which was a good thing. Never knew that my future would be, motorcycle drag racing, but we had local drags in front of my house every Saturday morning. 1989, I decided to turn professional. I got on a tour with the International Drag Bike Association, and there was a class that was called Pro Competition, which is the next step up from Pro Stock. We got a Pro Rookie of the Year and set a bunch of world records, and we actually even won the championship. I didn't want to be the special case, and really I was scared that the race officials would not let me race. So I didn't tell anybody about my injury. I wanted to go out and prove to the world, prove to my other competitors and the racing organization that I could ride this motorcycle safely and compete. I've had a great support group in my family, and they've always taught me that, hey, Reggie, the sky's the limit. Whatever you set your mind to, that you can achieve, I go through a lot of pain sometimes, but when you have a support group like that behind you, it just makes all the pain worthwhile. But every day is a challenge for me that I wake up. It was really tough to try to convince sponsors that I had some value to give to them. Hey, I'm double amputee, races a motorcycle. I have a little bit of value. Would your company be interested in helping a little guy out? Tracy Slemker is president of PDI, and he's a motorhead. He got in touch with me, and he says, hey, man, I want to help you, and I want you in my legs. I want to build you a set of legs, and I call them my Terminator legs. For the longest time, when I was racing motorcycles, I had a problem with finding the foot pegs with my legs. So with PDI, we tried to address that issue. We came out with a socket design that has some lower trim lines in the back. They're a lot lower than what a conventional prosthetic leg would be. And it allows me to bend my leg, all the way back so I can find the foot pegs. And it's still comfortable. That's comfortable to me. It doesn't hurt at all. These legs are completely modular in design. They push button, I can pop them right off at an instant. The foot is a functioning foot, meaning that it moves 360 degrees. It conforms to different terrain levels. There's a sleeve that I wear on my leg, and this is just a prosthetic sock. It's a threaded boss in the bottom of the sleeve, and there's a locking mechanism down inside the leg. And once I get in there, I lock in. The leg will not come off. I can hang upside down from the ceiling, and the leg won't come off. I'm actually a little shorter in these legs. In my everyday walking legs, I'm about 6 foot. And these, besides the socket design, we came up with just shortening the legs up, and it makes it much easier for me to find a foot peg. So I'm 5'8" on race day. A lot of people look at me, man, something's different about you. My bike is exactly the same as every other competitor's bike out here. It's just a different color. I can ride anybody's bike out here, and I really, really appreciate my PDI race legs for that. If I can do this, I can do anything. Is a logo that I used to have on my motorcycle, and that's what I try to convey to the public, People will look at me and say, you know what? My problems aren't that bad. Look at that guy, Look at what he's got to deal with, and he's still doing what he loves.
And Reggie Showers has been nice enough to bring his Pro Stock bike in to kind of, teach us a little bit about it. Reggie, it's good to meet you. Thank you very much for bringing the bike down.
Thank you.
So can you explain just some basic things about Pro Stock motorcycle racing?
I'll give you a quick Pro Stock Bike 101. This motorcycle, bike and rider, weighs about 600 pounds. It's about 330 horsepower in these engines. Can accelerate from 0 to 60 1 second, 0 to 100 2 seconds. So it's a pretty intense ride. This chassis serves as our air tank for our air shifter here. And we carry about a quart of fuel also in the chassis, and 10-inch rear slick. And this thing really gets down the track. I invite you to come try it one day.
I don't know. I've gone 100 miles an hour on a motorcycle before, but I don't know about anywhere close to 190. What does it feel like whenever you're there, you're all lined up ready to go, and then all of a sudden you pop the clutch and you take off?
Instant acceleration. It's a lot different from what the car guys feel, because their bodies are, they're inside of a chair, a seat, and a lot of the G-forces are absorbed from their back and their butt and their legs and all. All we got is that rear end back there and inside the motorcycle. We're outside in the wind. We're tucked behind the fairing. So the rider is actually a part of the vehicle. Any abrupt movement that we make can upset the 10-inch tire that we use. Makes the bike slow down a little bit, and we lose ET that way. So it's a really, the bike and rider are a complete package.
Have you ever had any close calls?
Yeah. I'll tell you, early in my career, in 1989, I was racing an IDBA, and I did take a spill in the shutdown area. To me, the hardest part about racing these pro stock bikes is just trying to stop them. The quarter mile is given, but those shutdown areas, some of them are a little shorter than others, so you got to be very careful trying to slow these motorcycles down.
And you guys actually sit up and act as a parachute, right?
Absolutely. We use our bodies as an air brake, and you want to really get on the brakes evenly and smoothly. Nothing abrupt and jerky, because you will run into some problems.
Now, in a childhood accident, you lost both of your legs, so you wear prosthetics, and you've got two different versions, one just for every day and another for racing. Why the difference?
These are my everyday walk-around legs. My sponsor, PDI, made these for me. Actually, these are running legs for me. When I want to go run or sprint or anything like that, I use this particular set. This set right here is my race legs. These are my actual race legs. They're very lightweight, modular in design. I wear a sleeve on my leg, on my residual limb, that has a pin in it, and that pin goes down into a locking mechanism here, and it locks me in the leg. It will not come off. I'm about 6 foot, 6'1" in my everyday walk-around legs, and I'm about 5'7" in my PDI race legs. And I came up with the idea of shortening the legs because it made it a lot easier for me to grab the foot pegs. I took a pipe cutter, and there's a graphite shaft here, and I just start taking inches off at a time until it felt effortlessly for me to put my feet up on the foot pegs. So it works out good for me. I don't have to worry about throwing my feet up on the pegs anymore.
Well, that's great. Well, I do appreciate you bringing the bike by to show us and teach us some things. And Reggie, best of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you very much. Really love watching your show. And if I could say hi to Mom and Dad and my daughter Autumn back home.